Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing well on this fine beginning of the week. Quite an eventful weekend it was, socially and societally. A lot going on. In addition to, including the Super Bowl, but definitely not exclusively it. I feel like there's so much that I could say, but I'm just gonna keep it cute on a Monday. Yeah. We'll see what comes up in the cards. If anything particular shows up, then so be it. But today is, in fact, February 12th. Just 2 days away from Valentine's Day. Maybe some of you celebrated this weekend, or maybe even today. I know sometimes people do like celebrating on an off day because sometimes the day of is just like crowded in places and busy and not so intimate. But whatever it may be, even if you don't have an SOS, someone special, I hope that you are loving on yourself, which is an everyday holiday for sure. But in this time when there's so much focus on relationship love and partnership and things like that, I hope that if you do have that to reflect upon or engage with, that you take special time to enhance it to the best of your capability. But if you don't, and that's okay too, that you know that all that love is just as much well invested in self as it is anywhere else. And I know that's kind of cliche, like love on yourself, but now more than ever before is a prime time to really, really take that cliche to heart, pun intended. All right. So anyway, let's see what we got here. Oh, come on. We got the 9 of Swords to start. Like, seriously? This is someone that is not taking self-love to heart. Not at all. Somebody that's anxious and paranoid, that is worrisome, maybe even a bit regretful, definitely feeling very isolated or cast out, I would even say, with the 9 of Swords. Outcasted, cast out. They're feeling very disconnected from peace in this state. Sleepless nights, restless days, restless mindset is what it is, for sure. I don't know why, but let's see what we got here. We're gonna just take it on out. I don't usually like to pull these dense energies out, but who knows? We don't know what it could be restless about. Maybe somebody could be restless about what I just said just now. Like, maybe it's not so dense of an energy, which, usually what I'm saying is what I'm saying for a reason. But it could be, in a practical sense, like the energy of people, almost getting anxious, like, oh God, Valentine's Day is coming up, and then, that anxiety. Well, I don't feel that way at all, but it's common, it's normal, it's understandable when the whole world or society, it seems, is gearing up for this outward expression of love. Like, look at how much I'm loved, look at how much I love, and then you may or may not have anything show for that or to share of that. That can be very anxiety driven for some people that more or less are greatly impacted by societal norms and projections. We know it's just another day, and more importantly, we know it's really a Hallmark made holiday or something of the sort. Like, not entirely, it has deeper roots than that, but it's been infused with capitalistic propaganda to really just to get you to spend some money past Christmas on cards and candy and little trinkets and gifts and going out and infusing the economy with your hard-earned money, pretty much, with your energy is what it's siphoning, more or less. So, and there's nothing wrong with it, because shoot, for me, any day to highlight love is a good one. The one that's especially for the expression of love. Nothing wrong with that, as long as you don't allow yourself to get swept into or carried away by the novelty. So I don't know why I'm saying that, because I don't even really think this card is exclusively about that. It feels a bit deeper to me than that. But I mean, when we're talking about love, it just really could be a matter of someone just feeling lonely and detached and not feeling a sense of connection or community or support where they are now. But I feel like I know I'm going to get to the cards, but I feel like me even saying the stuff about getting swept into like the propaganda, a lot of times, even with the Nine of Swords, it's a projected energy. It's like nothing has quite occurred yet, usually, or at least what's being worried about is something that hasn't quite happened yet. There may be some past things, or even some present worries, but usually it's a matter of the paranoia and the anticipation of some future outcome, or sometimes, and at least in the mind of this person that's carrying this vibe, some inevitable outcome, But in actuality, it hasn't occurred just yet, or it may even be something that you just can't do anything about in this moment. So it's kind of like, why worry? I know that's much easier said than done, but I'm relating that to this projection of Love Day, of Valentine's Day, of how it's much more inflated than it is a real thing, So it could just be the matter of perspective as to how someone is seeing the inevitable future, when the most productive state of being would be to try, at least, to shift the focus onto what can be done, or a posture of receptivity for whatever the experience may be, because even in that regard, if it is something unfavorable, God forbid, at least you may be in a better mind space to accept it and respond accordingly. This is not the mind space of acceptance or even assertion of a reasonable response. This is like, first of all, manifesting what may not even be, definitely solidifying the worst fears, and then probably magnifying it upon experience or engagement, because you weren't in the mindset you weren't in a practical mindset, a balanced, grounded mind frame, and from the start. So it's just kind of like a tripling effect of what may or may not be the world. Oh, yikes. Oh my God. This how we gonna start on this Monday, eh? Okay, well that would be something. But even still, here I go. But even still, right? It's like, even if this was the worst of it, the point of the matter is, of what I'm saying, is that it still hasn't happened. Or the present energy wouldn't even be to worry about it. It's like, even if that's an anticipation or a fear or some inevitable circumstance or seemingly inevitable ending, literally ending with the death card, it is not the present, So, and everything that I said actually still stands, because if it's a matter of a fear of this outcome, which hasn't quite occurred, you could be bringing that energy onto yourself. You, not you, but whomever to say. I go back and forth into, so I don't want you to absorb this as any, prophecy or resonation, unless it absolutely does. But hear me in the highest frequency, that even if this was a thought, somebody afraid of their own mortality or facing it or anxious about it in whatever way, it's like the day and time has not occurred if there's still breath in the body to consider it and worry about it. So there's that. Then the fact that you're consumed by those thoughts could be actually welcoming it along faster than it's even slated or fated, I should say, to happen. And the mindset of this experience is jaded as well, because in its highest form, this card is about transformation and transition. So yes, as I've said, it's easier said than done not to worry about things, especially seemingly unfavorable circumstances that are out of our control. However, what we can control is exactly that, our perspective of those circumstances. That could make all the difference in shifting how we actually experience them. So even if someone got like I just heard a death sentence, because sometimes the Nine of Swords can feel like, oh goodness, can feel like jail. So maybe someone received the judgment, or it could be a matter, because they're also in the bed, so it could be a matter of like a negative health prognosis. It could be a breakup, the things that kind of keep you in bed or keep you up at night. It could be a loss of some sort that may be prepped. That could be it too. Or the loss of some sort, or an impending loss, or somebody's afraid of losing something, or of losing themselves one way or another, or being lost to this energy. Mortality is the focus, the main focus, whether it be of self or of circumstances or of some connection of sorts. Let me see who's on the other side of this death card. See if we can I was going to say, see if we can garner any hope from this, for this individual. Let's see here. Oh, High Priestess and the Star. Let me pull this down, because you might not be able to see up there. The High Priestess. Man, so that's the anxiety here, that somebody is worried that their demise is going to be the catalyst for someone else's rise, or that someone else's rise is the catalyst for their demise, with either one of those. That someone else who, it is transforming into some, or has transformed into some ascended state with the star card, some advancement, and practically speaking, it just could be success, on their own path, doing what they love, doing what they feel called to do. And see, the anxiety here is that I need one on the back end of this 9. After I just did all that straightening, I need to know, because that's what he's looking forward to, but what's behind him? I knew it. See, I just need to be saying, see, the thing about me is that I feel things, as most intuitive readers do, because some seasoned readers may look at my messages and be like, how'd she get that out of that? But intuitively, sometimes you just feel what the cards may not actually be laying down yet. And that's the beauty of these cards, is that everyone can have their own interpretation and their own message. But sometimes I try not to jump the gun, because I don't want it to seem as though I am fixing the message or making it what, kind of like, I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't even matter. But the point is that what I was about to say is that I was actually literally going to say that someone is not willing to surrender to this energy in a transformative sense, which would ultimately be the process of this spiritual alignment and ascension here. These two energies together is given like spiritual death. Someone wasn't willing to surrender to that experience. They rejected the Ace of Cups with this Four of Cups. They rejected some opportunity to engage more with their spiritual nature. That's what's keeping them up at night, because now they're looking at themselves. They're feeling like there's an expiration date on their head. Whether it be most immediately or in the long run. However, as I said, it's still missing the mark here in this mindset, because who's to say, just because it was rejected in one space and time, that it's absolutely too late to still be a yes to that experience. It may not look the way that it did when it was initially, the invitation looked like it when it was initially extended. However, it still could be an open one, is what I'm trying to get to. But somebody's so stuck in their own lower frequency, like feeling hopeless, like, oh God, that's it. I'm done here. There's no more, count me out, that they've thrown in the towel already on account of the past, really, when this death march or sentence might actually be transformative and transitioning to what was the initial invitation in the first place. Perhaps. Now, I can't say for sure. It could be very final. But with the high priestess, I feel this energy with death and the star this is transformation here. This is spiritual ascension, alignment, and unfortunately some things have to be released, even some aspects of yourself, to experience this reality in spirit and in truth. And some are willing to, this is literally like Dark Night of the Soul. Somebody hasn't been wanting to go through that tunnel of sorts to get to the light, but there's no other way but through it. No matter how long you resist, it will only be a single passage journey. This is someone that tried to maybe 3 different types of ways to get around it, to take a shortcut, take the scenic route. Well, not the scenic route, for sure. It was more of a shortcut. Well, they thought it was anyway, but it probably ended up being more of a scenic route, actually. Or to just kind of not to go at all, to stay in one place where they felt safe and secure, or at least stable in a certain type of way. Because this is almost like a stubbornness with the 4 of Cups, somebody being either rejected, but in this case it feels more like somebody rejecting an offer. And fair enough that with the 4 of Cups, it can kind of go work one with the other, because when you're rejecting the Ace of Cups, which is the implication here, you're really, as I said in the beginning, you're really rejecting self-love, because that's what the Ace of Cups is. It's the overflow from within. Knowing how loved and worthy of love you are on the inside, without it really needing to be reinforced from external stimuli or affirmations or reflections, There's a reason why I was saying the Valentine's Day stuff, because that's the illusion of love, the inflated expressions, the teddy bears, the heart box candies, the flowers, even the jewelry, the more, expensive, exuberant expressions. It still amounts to nothing if it's not pure. It's the difference between somebody going all out, candy, heart, flowers, dinner, necklace, jewelry, and everything you could think of, versus someone just writing you a heartfelt card. It's the expression, the purest expression. I know as a feminine, you would hand all the rest of that stuff in just to have the purest exchange of someone's heart. So that could be in a very actual sense here, and also 4 of Cups is a missed opportunity where someone rejected that purest form of love. It was internal first, of course, but then it expressed itself on the outside. So someone may have rejected invitations of that exchange for supplemental sources. With the 3 of Cups, it could just be for a good time. With the 3 of Cups, it's like celebration, drinking, and being merry, And now it feels like some indefinite ending of an era for someone in the Nine of Swords, because they feel like they've missed the opportunity for true love in the Four of Cups because of their resistance. Because there's something about, in order to fully receive it, like people can fake the funk, you know, like I said, you can be the gift giver of all the extravagant expressions, but still in your heart of hearts have a void and really not even truly mean anything by it, you know. It's just like spend a couple dollars. But the difference in like a card, and I'm not saying, you know, that both aren't appreciated, because as long as it's a pure expression, it's all appreciated. But I'm saying the difference in inflated expression and like honest expression, where someone may take a bit more energy to be intimate in the way with words and sharing someone's thoughts and appreciation for another and their perspective, or their value of the connection, especially in a written form. You know, once you put it to paper, it's like, you know, it's like, it's different. You know, even someone that may even find a card that says all that they would want to say, if they don't feel like they have the words, it's still like, you know, when an expression is genuine, you can feel it. You can feel that energy is pure. It's invigorating, you know, versus empty expressions that look good. And it's like, oh, you can take a picture and post it on social media. Look what I got. Look how much I'm loved. But to the person, to the receiver, unless that's how you measure love, that's your language, that's a different story. But even still, it's like, it's the intimacy behind the expression that makes all the difference. So someone that's feeling empty, feeling a love lost is what I'm hearing. You know, the saying, usually no love lost. This is not that. Somebody's feeling very love lost, much love lost, and feeling lost in love, particularly in their own self-love. Oh, and what I was saying is that in order to really express an honest, you know, exchange of love, you would have had to receive it from an internal space, from a divine source first, which would be here with the Four of Cups. So if you have someone that's not available to love themselves, it's really hard. It's damn near impossible to purely love anyone or anything else. Because that Ace of Cups, like I said, it's an internal overflow. You love yourself so much that you have love to give, that it has nowhere else to go but out. When you're working at a deficit to start, or what's the right word? Not a deficit per se. That sounds too clinical or too practical. But you know what I mean. Like when your cup is half empty, not even half full, it's really hard to give from that energy, because you don't really have anything to give. All right, so we got so maybe somebody wanted to make that turnaround. But even with that, this is still pentacle energy. Like this, exactly what I was saying. This is like the gifts, the physical expression, the things that look like love. But it's not the essence of it. True indeed, Knight of Pentacles is one of those, the few knights that is reliable and dependable and all that good stuff, but in the matters of the heart, there's that too. But there's something deeper that I'm trying to touch on. Like this is the diamond ring, perhaps, that comes with the Knight of Pentacles that's been a long time coming. But it's the Knight, though. So it even gives like somebody, in this case with this Knight, that somebody feels like they have no choice but to make a certain type of gesture of love on account of trying to recover what they feel they've either lost or in jeopardy of losing. This is like someone that may propose on Valentine's Day because of the fear of maybe losing a partnership that they're comfortable in, but not because they truly want to. You know, it's like, well, if I don't do it now, you know, I'm getting ultimatum vibes, but it may not even be from the outside in. It might just be someone feeling like they've been dragging their feet a little bit too long. It's like, all right, well, I might as well, or if I don't, then I may have nothing, you know, I may be having some lonely, sleepless, you know, lonely nights in this cold bed alone, and they don't really want that. But it's like, is that really the motivation for making a long-term life commitment, or making a serious, yeah, because see, that's what I'm feeling. It just doesn't feel authentic. It's like, let me do this for, as I say with the Knights, for some desirable return or engagement. And in this case, it could be just to buy more time, you know, so that there is like a stall on a separation, but not because you know what I'm trying to say. And I don't know why I'm saying it so specifically, but I feel like I do kind of, because then we got this strong feminine energy here. And the other day, Saturday, I said something about being mindful of the energy of here for a good time, not a long time vibes. This is feeling funny to me now. Like it's, well, it always was, especially with the death card, but it's somebody that will be willing to propose just for the meantime. Like, let me just give like a shut up ring, as they say. You know, somebody that just would even be willing to be engaged for forever, just to be able to kind of keep you, you know, locked down or something. But this is High Priestess and Star energy. If anybody's doing that to energy such as this on this frequency, that is completely imbalanced and mismatched. I would like to believe that a feminine energy in that position of reception would absolutely put an end to that offer before it even gets off the ground. Like you would know your worth in this vibration. But just in case, you know, because sometimes people can make it seem and sound real good. Like I said, those inflated expressions. So it's not just the ring, but it's the dinner, it's the wine, it's the big beautiful bouquet of flowers, and it's taking you out to a fancy restaurant. Like the whole production of this offer, you know, this engagement of sorts. I don't feel like I'm probably here to say this because it's not for everybody, but it matters for someone that's of high caliber to be mindful of these empty offers that may look good, because the Knight of Pentacles looks good. He looks like he got his stuff together. He looks like he's really serious about what he's offering. It's a solid ring. It's beautiful. You know, it's a solid you know, invitation. But is it though? This is someone that may have the physical arranged, the material arrangement, but they're still emotionally unavailable. And the stress that they have about it is either losing someone or being in a very intense way. I'm just hearing like dying alone. That's no motivation to just be handing out diamond rings. You know, I just don't want to die alone. There just needs to be something truly heartfelt and soul sinking to make a commitment, such as matrimony or even long-term engagement. At this point, you got to consider the high priestess being a sacred feminine energy, maybe even celibate, maybe abstinent, maybe celibate, depending on, you know, it could be someone that's abstaining for a time, not necessarily religiously so, but just because, you know, she's willing to wait for the match of her value. Could be someone that's celibate for a very spiritual devotion, that maybe hasn't even ever had sex before and doesn't want to share that except for with someone very special and important and sacred as well. So it's like what that's representing for me in either regard is just feminine energy that holds themselves at high value, that reverences, that has, you know, accepted that Ace of Cups, that self-love, knows their worth, their value, their preciousness, not just in the sight of the divine, but within themselves and their own perspective, and enough to have abstained for a purpose, not whether it's religious or not, but just knowing that they are worthy of a certain value of relationship or value of treatment, even if it's just casually dating. You know, it's like, don't settle is what I'm trying to say. That's like, and I don't know why I'm being called to beat it down, but probably because like people are going to be coming hard to engage with high quality energy, masculine or feminine. They're going to be putting on they Sunday's best to present themselves to be the one. And they may even be the one for someone else or for you in another lifetime before now, or, you know, they were the one at some point in time. But if you don't feel that synergy, yeah, like that's what I said, people putting in the work. But notice how that slid all the way over here. It's like, it's not focused. You know, it is, but it's not. It's focused on what the objective is for the self-gratification, but it's a great distance away, as it was all the way over here, from the pure focus, which would be this connection, authentically, honestly. It's like the work that is being invested and even the motive and integrity behind the work may be something that you can't see from, you know, can't see on sight. You just see the gesture. You just see the expression. Yeah, like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Somebody's looking to gain some level of control over their mortality, whether it be relationally or otherwise, because this can get deeper than that, you know, especially with the high priestess and the star. Someone is seeing you as like their resurrection of sorts, like their healing or their like their escape from death. So it's like you're almost like a portal type of energy, literally for a means of survival. It's not love. This is a last ditch effort to try to get back in the game of life for some people, and then ultimately gain control over their fate and also over the resources themselves and the equity in this engagement. But the Emperor is not in good vibes under the Death card here. This is some domination that is being that's desirable. Like somebody wants to be able to control their outcome by controlling others. I thought I saw something out the corner. Was that smoke? It just scared me. Like how my body just jerked right now. That's not good. Oh, hell no. Hell no. My heart is still kind of, I don't know if you saw me jump back like that, but I thought I saw something out the corner of my eye. Nah, somebody's got plans. Yep, and here, okay, because they see the value. They know what's up. Somebody looking at you like the damn fountain of youth. Or what is that, the fountain of youth, or like the yeah, like eternal life type of energy. Like you would give someone a second breath in life somehow, or help them to escape their fate. I don't like it. And for feminine energy, like I said, we can be enamored by the gesture and just the sheer reality that someone actually wants to propose a commitment to us. You know, sometimes females say yes just because, like, oh my gosh, I'm actually being proposed to. This may never happen again. I gotta say yes. It's like, no, you don't. Trust me, no, you don't. I've had ring in hand, on hand, and still is like, yeah, I don't think this is right. Like, and I knew it wasn't right, and thankfully, you know, it ended up turning out well for both of us, because, you know, he's happily married now to the woman that he deserves to be with. That is his fate. That is his divine match. And if I had said yes just surely on the strength that it felt good that somebody cared enough to actually go to a store with you in mind, to purchase a ring, to make a gesture of commitment, and you know, just the sheer idea of it all, I'm positive, first of all, we probably would have never made it down the altar. That's number one. But number two, we probably wouldn't have lasted very long if we did. Because in that regard, I feel like the motivation was also, oh, okay, so this is confirmation. The motivation for, and it wasn't even like an official proposal. You know, I love you. If God forbid if he's listening, because he would know exactly if he did happen to stumble upon this, he would know exactly who I'm talking about. Like, I love you. I still do. Always will have hella love for you. But honestly speaking, it wasn't even like an official proposal, and we were kind of like in a breakup, and the real motivation was that he didn't want to be alone. He didn't want to have lost what at the time may have seemed like a good thing, maybe even one of the best things to him at the time, and on account of his own mismanagement was the reason why we were not officially together at that time in the first place. So this was like the gesture of like, I'm really serious about this. You know what I mean? But it wasn't even really like a get down on one knee, let me do it the right way. It was kind of like, I kind of bought this ring type of vibes. And It's like, oh, okay, that's nice. And it was really pretty. He did a wonderful job, always had impeccable taste, but it wasn't heartfelt, and I wasn't really moved. And I don't even think, I think he probably would have been terrified if I had actually said yes. That's the funny part of it. It was just kind of like, let me slide this gesture in, really maybe in hopes of just getting back into the graces of where we had left off and not being so disconnected. But even that was kind of finalizing, because it was telling that, if I couldn't say yes with a ring in front of my face, then clearly we are exactly as we should be, separated. You know what I mean? And then for him, it was probably telling, oh, look at this. Yeah, look at this ambition here. Impulsive. That's interesting. I'm going to leave that there, even though it's kind of messing up my flow, But no, I can move it, because you get where it fell and you know why it fell. But I'm going to put it here because that's what the ambition is, for this overflow of love. But as I'm saying, it's like, my neighbor is so damn loud. So most of the time she's so quiet, but when she is loud, she's loud. So excuse that if you if you hear her talk. And sometimes I'll be like, is she mad? But a lot of times she really is just talking. That's just how her voice carries, I guess, when she's excited. But Knight of Swords is like this. It's not even just ambition. It's like an entitlement. Like, no, this is mine. I don't want nobody else. That's the energy. I don't want nobody else to have what I've had. So I got to do something to secure it, even if it's a dramatic gesture, to regain this control and, dominance over this situation, to pretty much take control of the ending, maybe the narrative, whatever the case, the fate of it all. When, as I said in my own personal story, it's like, you don't even really want to do this. Like, you don't really want to marry me. You just don't want to lose me. And you also don't want to truly love me the way that I deserve to be loved, because you refuse to love yourself the way that you deserve to be loved. And I think, in my personal experience, that happening probably put us both on the proper path to loving ourselves a little bit more, because ultimately he kind of found his way to himself purely. And he's a dynamic man, like nothing but respect for him in every way, shape, and form when it comes down to it. And I was set free to move about as I needed to as well, because at the time I was kind of connected to a place and a space because of the fact that he was there. But once our relationship kind of really disconnected, I was a bit more free to explore. And then I ended up moving to New York, where I really kind of gained my wings, in a sense, my own independence. And there's so much more to that story. It didn't end there, funny enough, for either one of us. It got deeper. But the point is, I feel like that was the catalyst for our own personal growth, for us to really kind of figure out, what do I want? What do I deserve? What am I desiring of, Because in my heart of hearts, I don't think it was totally me. It wasn't. And I had my reservations about fully committing to him for, mainly for trust issues and things like that. But it also was just on account of not even really giving myself the opportunity to explore the depths of my love, what I had to offer and what I truly desired, and ultimately realized I was worthy to receive, So Yeah, but this is somebody, and thankfully he wasn't really all that aggressive about it either or insistent, but this is the opposite. This is somebody that is very persistent and insistent, like, no, you got to be mine, and they're willing to really go all out to, look at this, Wheel of Fortune, really inflate their efforts, but it also was given like this could be, yeah, look at this. This could be the beginning of a karmic cycle that wouldn't be favorable if you were to say yes simply on the account of somebody kind of, or feeling like, forced in some way. That's your state of mind though, feeling like your back is up against the wall. Or being enamored by empty gestures. Yeah, back up against the wall. You would be sacrificing your own independence and almost relenting it to a force that, I mean, let's just be honest in how I'm feeling about it. Now, this wasn't the case in my personal experience because I don't think that he wanted to control me or anything. He wanted to control his feeling of abandonment, his fear of it, his fear of abandonment or being left alone or, not having the safety of our connection anymore to be comforted by. It wasn't malicious or anything like that at all, let me be clear. But this energy is given a different type of vibe where the Knight of Swords, when the Knight of Swords shows up, it's always feeling a little bit strange, like it's almost an attack of sorts, like if I can't have it, no one can, if this belongs to me, it's mine, it's like, what entitlement do you have to someone's love that is not willing to share it, not openly willing to release it, especially if you've mismanaged it before in some way, shape, or form. And the Wheel of Fortune here is saying that there's a cycle that's over and a new one is beginning, and somebody's still kind of trying to observe how that evolution gets to take place. For you, for them, overall, like wanting to keep something stuck and bound. Yeah, look at this. I won't take all this because I just want to, but look, the Hermit card, the Ace of Wands, and the Two of Cups, like they're trying to assert control over this partnership, even over what has probably been ordained otherwise at this point, because the Hermit card is pointing in another direction. So it's like this isn't even blessed by the celestials anymore, but somebody is still trying to make it be so, force it to be so, or force themselves into that experience. Let me just get two more and I'm out. This is weird. Like, come on. Like, I hope we just getting out of this for, before Valentine's, because I hope it don't be nothing like this for the Valentine's Day message. This doom and gloom of love. But I feel like it's just a warning, not to add, yeah, and look, here's the Six of Cups. Somebody is got their own baggage and they want to bring it to this partnership. They're not releasing it. They're trying to figure out a way to work with it, to incorporate it, maybe even to offset it, as I said before, like a regenerative experience through the vitality of this love connection, because your love may be very pure in such a way that it's healing. With the High Priestess and the Star, it's pure love is, it can even be numbing to someone to some degree to escape their emotional ailments to some degree, like to just kind of hide in that frequency and not heal it on their own. This is someone that's carrying a hell of a lot of baggage, and it should be the end, but I feel like it's really just the beginning of them finally engaging it. And it probably is on account of the loss or the disconnection, as I said, with my experience, where finally bringing this cycle to a close, because we were like a makeup at first, well, it started off very casually at first, but not so, because even the casualness of it was not ever really too casual. But when it was finally official between us, sometimes we would have our spats where we were all good, fewer in between as we started to mature, but we would have our moments where we were going strong, and then when I was mad about something or he did something and I had to kind of disconnect, whatever. And it's like that cycle is not productive for anyone. It doesn't breed a ground for trust and true intimacy, because you're always feeling guarded. Like, just as soon as you put one guard down from the last argument, then you never quite do, because it's just a buildup, right? Because even if you start off on a clean slate of forgiveness, you still remembering what they did the last time, and then it just continues to build and carry on. So it's like it creates a cycle that's not prosperous or productive. And this is someone that may be accustomed to that cycle of trauma and toxicity, maybe even comfortable in it, because it doesn't really require much healing of them. Like, you don't have to show up authentic and healed. That's the person that can show up with the big teddy bear and the flowers and the balloons and the candy and take you out to dinner, and that's good enough. You don't have to do any deep diving of why you're emotionally unavailable, or why you cheat, or why you lie, or why why you hide certain aspects of yourself, why you feel insecure, why you are afraid of abandonment. You don't have to do all of that when it's just candy-coated signatures. You don't have to do that. But when you're dealing with such as a high priestess and a star, there's a heightened level of expectation for that exchange that you more or less have to measure up to, if she truly is a high priestess and a star. Or you would have to relent to faking it to make it, which doesn't last very long before that crumbles down. You can't keep up that facade very long. Or you would have to resort to letting someone go and you going about your business to do whatever it is you do, either actually aggressively chase this pure love for yourself and within yourself, or maybe even just be content with dealing with energies that are on your frequency that you don't have to work so hard for. And this is somebody that may want to have a little bit of the best of both worlds. Like, they want to hold on to what's invaluable, but still kind of keep something in their back pocket, or keep some energy on reserve for however else they feel comfortable engaging and living and acting out. That's the energy I'm feeling. Yeah, finessing. Right there. They want to fill up on that Ace of Cups, but what they taking that Ace of Cups, what's the Knight offering to? Well, I ain't gonna take that, but yeah, look at this. King of Wands energy with the with the Eight of Wands. This is somebody that's still like feeling torn in different directions of their own desires, their own ambitions. They're not really focused. Still no cups of true value. The only one is the Ace, which is, I don't think is so much attached to the Emperor as it is maybe the desire of the Emperor to to manipulate or monopolize. And then this Knight of Cups, which is, the Four of Cups, which is the rejection of the Ace of Cups. And then the Knight of Cups, which is like some half-ass offer. So it's still more of an ambitious power move. Like I said, these are all the gestures with this Eight of Wands, the candy, the gift, the jewelry, the ring, this is someone who would give you the generic card and just sign love so-and-so at the bottom. He ain't got nothing extra to say. Not just because he has a hard time expressing himself. He just literally don't have no other words to say. So a generic card is sufficient. You know, dinner at a nice restaurant, maybe the movies or a show, maybe, you know, some good sex at the end of the night. Literally with the King of Wands, like that's about all you gonna get, for real. And it's exciting, like the Eight of Wands is like a lot of energy coming at you at once. You know, it's invigorating, as I said. It's passion driven, it's exciting, it's what can I say? It's like it's stimulating, you know, like that's not the word I'm really looking for. I'm really more looking for like a sexual drive, you know, like it's I can't think of the word right now, but you know, like it'll get you there and back and then maybe there again. Maybe quite a few rounds with the Eight of Wands. But then after it all fizzles out, it's kind of like, okay, now what? At the morning after, what are we doing? You know, I don't know. And it's not a complete, I don't know. It's hard. Like I'm torn because there's so many different inflections of this, because not everybody's out to harm you or to hurt or endanger you, intimately speaking, but some people are just they just have their own agenda. And so although that might not be so actively aggressive in the long run, it could still have a very detrimental impact, especially to someone that is preserving, conserving, reserving themselves in a certain way for a certain purpose. Oh man, this is like, why are we talking about this? Yeah, the Fool, because it's just there. It's an offer that is tailor-made for someone that would be naive to receive it, that would be just looking to take a leap of faith in the direction of how they're feeling fancy to do so with the Fool card. But in this case, it's not like a leap of faith in a promising direction. You're headed toward you're taking a leap of faith with someone that has an ulterior motive. And that ulterior motive is the vitality of your love. But there's really not much in that cup to offer, even with the best intentions. It's probably filled up more off of what you're giving and what you have to offer than it actually is coming from a source. And then it's like you're just recycling your own energy. You're not being replenished, you know, like, I don't know how to say it. I just got the image of backwash. Yeah, I don't know why, but like you drinking from the cup is really like, I will leave that image alone, but that's what I just heard. It's not fresh. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like somebody just wanting to drink you all up. Now, this is what they're holding on to, and this might not even just be you. This could be a couple people, especially with the Knight of Cups. They're trying to see, that confirms what I said when I said they want to hold on to the best of, the best option, while they still got hella other options in the background, or hella other ways, maybe even secrets, the ways that they express their energy or indulge in certain energies in the background that you can't even see, or they don't want you to see. This is not an open, honest expression right here. This is someone that's looking to have their wishes fulfilled, their needs met by any means necessary, but don't really have the capacity to reciprocate. Look at this Tower. Man, like, what? This is a warning for someone's. Just be careful out there, because you have the balance of this, masculine or feminine. Anyone that's erring on this side of the High Priestess, the Star, the Ace of Cups, even an Emperor in the upright, like true Emperor energy, self-controlled, empowered, committed to their own organization, their own establishment. It's like you got too much to lose. This is the energy of like forfeiting your true heart's desire, your true wish fulfillment, whether that be in the embodiment of a person, a place, or a thing. Is sacrificing that energy for something that is very faulty, maybe even fraudulent. With the Tower card, like it's bound to be dismantled if it isn't already a burning tower that somebody is just trying to prop up in your presence to appear to be something of value. Like, no, everything's good. Like I'm doing great over here. Money is flowing. Business never been better. I've been really working on myself. Like, spiritually getting in tune, they know all the right things to say. They know the gestures to make. It's like a glamoring of, I don't even know, like it's just somebody trying to glamour you into some glorified experience of love that is not glory at all. Like it's ghastly. As a matter of fact, and they may already have a burning tower in the background, like I said, that they don't want you to see, like how their life is truly falling apart or a big old mess, or this is the inevitable. Look, the Death card. If somebody else is trying to avoid, I forgot about that energy, that's what they want you to do. They don't want you to remember or see their fate, especially with the Wheel of Fortune here. Like somebody's trying to almost mask their karmic, maybe to themselves, truly. That's why they're trying to escape it through you, but they want to mask like their karmic signature. That's what it is, so that you don't see the flames, you don't see the evidence of the fact that they got some self work to do, some healing, some discovery, something. They got something, maybe even some actual issues in the love department, even past relationships and stuff that they need to work on. That really is what makes them unavailable to be devoted in anything serious with you. You don't need to be a part of that. Like I said, the death energy, somebody may even be trying to pass off their karmic energy onto you so you can pick it up in exchange for them to go on and live a fulfilled life, or that's the ideal, but that's delusional because that's not going to happen. But that could even be like the most diabolic determination here, beyond just, let me just hold on to you because I don't want to lose you. I don't want you to be the one that got away. Somebody might actually want to lose their debt in your vitality, to offset it, give you what they're dealing with. And with the death card, remember I did say about a bad health prognosis. They may want to literally come give you a package that you won't be able to get rid of. And it could even be spiritually, of a spiritual nature. Like, it doesn't have to be, it could be a spiritually transmitted disease, is what I'm saying, even if it's not actually sexual. And you could have picked that up just in the engagement of the wrong types of energies. It don't even have to be actually sexual. Somebody can impart a mindset or project an energy to you just by what they say or how they treat you, or maybe even coming and going, showing up and then ghosting you, or, throw your whole game off from what you've been building up, the self-love you've been storing up for yourself, within yourself. And somebody could come drain all that dry and be off, like I said, on to the next, into the sunset. But they won't project that to you at first. You won't see that at first, which is why you got to really turn up the high priestess vibes, particularly feminines, to be in your spiritual intelligence and emotional intelligence, not just saturated by emotion, wanting to be enamored with the gestures, like really considering, like, how is this making me feel really? Do I feel appreciated truly? Do I feel like these words are honest? Do I feel like, is there a calmness? Is there a peace in this exchange? Or do I feel a little bit anxious and off balance? Those are the things to really tune into. Maybe even if you do go on a date or you're opening yourself up to some intimate exchanges, is the point of protection for you is to be aware of what you're feeling on all planes, on all levels, to make the best determination and set the best boundaries for your protection. Nothing else really matters beyond that, because the stakes are too high now, and energies are too vulnerable on either side of the spectrum. And nobody is immune from being manipulated or getting got, especially during a season such as this, where we want to feel, we want to see, we want to exchange that expression of love. Just make sure that's what it really is. If it don't measure up to this Ace of Cups, this overflow, filling you up, not you feeling depleted after a conversation or after a date or after an engagement, not feeling like yourself, or as the high priestess and the star, is more knowing there than anything else in this deck. Just between those two cards. Just don't ignore what you know or what you feel. Keep it real with yourself. Okay? It must be very important for me to say this again, for the sake of your own security and sanctity, preserving that. All right, so yeah. All right. That's the thing. You just can't control the message. It just is what it is, So take what of it resonates and certainly leave what does not. Enjoy yourself again, if nothing else. And yeah, until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.